I think this will be very interesting from a Trojan horse kind of perspective, where every single instance of BTCPay, like you can say, hey, just integrate this checkout experience, which is already very nice and easy thanks to the million different integrations we have available. And all of a sudden you can support, credit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, all these things directly in the same checkout experience, same integration.
There we go. Is everyone else here? I see Parker has accepted the invitation.
Good morning, Rock. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We just now need to ensure that Tiago, Tobses, and Kukks can join us, Ndeet as well. And then some of our friends that are joining that are plugin authors as well. Let's see. From anyone that's on the BTCPay Server Plugin Testers Mattermost, or in our collaboration channel, if you cannot get a speaker when you're requesting it, just message me there and I will add you. So we have met here to talk about Plugin Builder a little bit and present it for all of those that are curious on how to build plugins with BTCPay Server. So as people trickle in, we will slowly start going. Like we could first go around with speakers and talk a little bit about plugins. Pavlenex, how have you liked the development with plugins?
I mean, it's been great. It's been absolutely awesome to see that we have 40 plus plugins that are published, probably a dozen more in review that will be published soon. So just seeing people building on top of BTCPay now easier is great. But probably better person to give you an intro on plugins is Kukks himself, a person who has designed this system, and the reason why he created it, it's also not to be blocked by others and that he can ship stuff. So maybe we start actually with Kukks better than myself to explain how it works.
Hey guys.
Kukks. Are you proud every time you see a new plugin on Plugin Builder?
I am. I almost get jealous because I could see people struggling much less to just build directly on BTCPay this way. As you know, the pain at this point too. I think it's been a great boom. It took a few years until people realized how to build for it, and once they've understood that it's really not that complicated, I think we're seeing now that it's kind of just blossoming up into this nice environment where we get to see new announcements, new drafts of plugins coming out, like at least a couple of them every month by now, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
I mean, for me, it really had to do a little bit with us streamlining the process, and that's what we're doing even now. So I don't know if you, Tiago, want to jump in and as someone that has helped along with Tobses on Plugin Builder, and then how was also your first experience building DPEX plugin?
Yeah, man. Hello, everyone. So for me, as my first experience building a plugin was super easy. Actually, I was expecting that was very hard. So for me, it was surprising to see how the things were built. And so at the first time, I congratulations Kukks and all the guys, because it was a really awesome job. And right now we are trying to improve and get in a point every day, improving and getting better, so more users can come and create and build on top of BTCPay Server, so we can spread the word of this software that is an amazing software.
Nice. And I'm really glad as well with how the plugin builder has been kind of shipping lately, with the public page and everything, so you can view things, a proper experience for a plugin system. Initially, I think I don't know when that was, has it been 3 years now since we started with the plugins? But in the beginning, it was literally just a GitHub repo where you upload a plugin and it would just serve it to you on your BTCPay instance with like nothing on there, like very, let's just say it was very raw. Now it has a whole streamlined approach. It's pretty cool in that it's one of the unique plugin systems where it requires your code to be open source, and it requires that the plugin builder builds it from source before it serves it to users. And I don't think you find a lot of systems that do the whole, source to plugin kind of approach that gets delivered to the end user.
Yeah, and one thing with that is that we did have some like small openings for closed source, like publishing of closed source plugins, but we have since fixed those. And Tobses was one of the contributors on Plugin Builder as well. I can see he finally accepted speaker invitation, and I'm trying to get Ndeet up here so he can talk a little bit about plugins as well. But I don't know, Tobses, now that you're a speaker, do you have anything to add on plugins?
I think just in collaboration with what Kukks has said is pretty much how plugins have shaped over time. All right. I think when I recently joined the project, it was people submitting feature requests here and there over Telegram, perhaps trying to assemble things. But I see people just think about what they want to do and they're building the plugins towards it. The community embracing different plugins, using the ones that deems fit for their very instance. So the scope of things now, all right, or the workload of things are extending beyond just BTCPay Server core members and even up to community taking responsibilities for whatever features or things that they want to see. So it's a great thing to see, and it's a great thing to experience.
I think initially we had, I remember back in, I don't know, 2019 or something, I think you, Rockstar, had built a feature inside BTCPay where, people could convert altcoins to the Bitcoin, payment method inside BTCPay. Was it you? I don't remember. I think there was a version in there, and I remember like we had to rip it out because they added some KYC to it at some point. Then we replaced it with a new one, and then eventually that one also broke, or they added KYC, so we kept replacing it. And now we don't even have to deal with that anymore. Instead, you just ship it up in a plugin. I think it was one of the first plugins we built, which was SideShift plugin. Then there was a fixed float. Then there was what's the other one? Trocador. There's quite a few of these swap plugins now, and they just keep extending it without having to bloat up the initial software, which has been a really good experience, at least to start off with. And then obviously the biggest gain has been being able to remove altcoins and all sorts of funny payment methods that were built in initially, and now we can have people just shipping their own payment method solutions without having to pollute our code base up front, where you can just not complain that we're too slow to review stuff that is not part of the priority roadmap for us. And you can just keep shipping, independently and with your own velocity.
Yeah, for me, it's always been about building without permission and, ensuring that I don't have any gatekeepers or approval committees or someone that needs to bless the idea and the code and everything else. And to me, that's also the spirit of Bitcoin. And I'm so glad to see that we at BTCPay Server have reached a point where people that want to build on top of BTCPay Server now have officially supported way to do that. And the only thing that now remains is if their plugin that they have built is listed by default in BTCPay Server Managed Plugin page. But even if it's not, they can publish plugin, and then it's unlisted and people can find it by searching. Some complain that we should review every single plugin and not show it in any way, but I think that this is the sweet spot where not only can we build without permission, but the software we're building, like FOSS code, is helping others build without permission, and that's what it's all about to me. So I also see some of our plugin builders in the audience who can't wait to bring them to speak, but I would love for us to keep going around the speaker table and now hear from Ndeet and Webworthy as well on plugin builder and their views, and then we'll go back to the author Kukks with questions. We'll start questions. So Ndeet, how do you like plugin builder? Do you like it more than op return increase or less?
For sure. So what's amazing is 2 years ago in Riga, I presented all the plugins we already had, and it was like 80% Kukks plugins. He is really an animal and builds a lot of plugins, and it was great. But I think now with the public plugin page and everybody contributing, this is really amazing to see. And all the use cases that are covered. Also, vendor pay, I think this is a huge success. Also, smaller plugins from Tobses. He made a ticketing system just for fun, so to speak. And I think it's amazing how this thing evolved, and it's great that everybody can contribute and build their own thing on top of BTCPay. So thanks everybody contributing, and thanks for you moving the plugin builder forward. And Tobses and Tiago for pushing new features on the public plugin page and making it easier and more validated through Web of Trust, that we have good quality also there and people can find it.
Okay, that was it from op return shouldn't be increased camp. Now to Webworthy and op return increase is the way. How does that camp like plugin builder?
They're working on the Ordinals plugin right now, and I am completely kidding. They're not doing that.
Man, I was hoping actually do.
Actually, I think Udi did use BTCPay Server for his tap cats or whatever way back when.
Yeah, I know that Ordinals people have used BTCPay Server, so as the permissionless part.
But and I've never touched an Ordinal, never done that stuff. But I'm amazed to see how much plugin builder has. Like, I can barely keep up with how many are being loaded onto it. And I was thinking, the POS keypad was once a plugin a long time ago, and there's been kind of a history of things that start as plugins that get brought into main. So I'm excited to see what kind of gets built and what other stuff becomes part of the main server.
Me too. So anything else on your mind plugin related? I know we have a feature in development that Tiago can also let me know where we're at, but every plugin before listing should have a YouTube video or video hosted somewhere to demonstrate how it works before we list it. How do you like that, Webworthy?
Yeah, both your AI video and Tiago's deep picks video have been the most popular videos we've done. So I love seeing that when we add a plugin, it's bringing in other people that aren't as familiar with Bitcoin. And I had never heard of deep picks before, and now that was the most viewed video on our YouTube for 3 weeks. So it's amazing when these other systems and groups bring in other people that are familiar with their plugin.
Yeah. So this is where, let's go the second circle around speakers table, starting with plugin architect and creator Kukks. So what are the features in Plugin Builder that you want to see happen in next year, like ideally?
It's a good question. I feel like we have so many. Honestly, it's not even a feature in the plugin builder itself. It's more about showing to people how to use it to the full extent, because people right now, for the most part, seem to, they're kind of coding in the dark, right? They find an existing plugin and they start hacking around that to make it fit their use case. Whereas I think having a bit more documentation and structure, or even like examples of how to build, more in-depth plugins will probably be the most, let's say, the most impactful way forward with plugins. Not even adding a feature in itself, but just documenting all the features we already have. Apart from that, I would say just being able to extend more stuff in the UI, in all sorts of places. Maybe you'd like to talk about as well the permission work. Your
Pavlenex, same question for you. What is it that you would love to see?
I find it hard to think of a new feature to add.
Yeah, sorry, I disconnected a little bit there. Couldn't hear you. Yeah, sorry, spoke over you. You're done, Kukks?
Yeah.
So now the question goes to Pavlenex, like same question. What is it that he as PM would love to see built in BTCPay Server and Plugin Builder in next year?
I mean, in terms of plugins, I don't really have a specific idea of what should be built. I think you guys are way better at creating like innovation. Like I feel like devs are way better at that than actual PMs. We are mostly there to complain with whatever you ship needs to be like usable or like has some criteria for UX and UI. But yeah, I don't think like in terms of innovation, I don't have anything on top of my mind. I would like leave that to you guys. But in terms of like features themselves for the plugin builder, yeah, I guess maybe having a way for authors to receive tipping. I know that's something on to do, so I didn't come up with this idea. Like any PM, I just like take your guys' idea and announce them. So, like seeing tipping, seeing in a way better way, or actually for all these plugins to be visible on the actual BTCPay server, not like hosted on a specific page that end user is not aware about. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You guys have done a lot lately to improve the UI of it as well. So I think we are getting there. Yeah, I guess one more thing that we discussed is also like adding a little bit more security around plugins. Maybe this can be actually a separate topic, so maybe I don't start it now. But a question there is like, if you allow a bunch of third parties to submit code and expose it to the end user, how do we ensure security of that? And like, can we even manage to scale? Like, how can we as a team of at this point 9 people like get to review all of that? And yeah, that's something that bothers me, but hopefully we will manage to overcome that, maybe through use of AI for scanning for vulnerabilities and stuff like that. So just like users should always be aware, and there always needs to be certain trust in plugins you use, and you should use it from reputable devs that you trust. So I guess that's what's on my mind with regards to plugins. A lot of random stuff.
This is why we're having the space, so we can take all this random stuff and make a list. So, and I see Nisaba has asked for speaker. Yeah, we'll slowly start bringing people up as speakers just to finish a few rounds of questions. Tiago, same question for you, man. Especially someone that's building. What's the roadmap for the next 1 year? If you could magically wave a wand, what are the stuff you're going to implement in Plugin Builder?
Yeah, man, it's kind of group everything that the others have said. So in the next months, I will be working in this that Pavlenex said about plugin builders. Got some kind of resources from plugin builders, from donation or other kinds of stuff. So get this kind of thing more monetary, so they can receive like motivation and this kind of stuff to keep building all the plugins that they have building and working. And there are a lot of UX stuff that we are also going to work, that is about the unlisted flag of the plugins and all this kind of stuff, improving so the users can know better what they are using or installing. So another thing that it's on the plan is one thing that Kukks said about improving for the builders to know better how they can create stuff, and making like tutorials or this kind of stuff could also help. So this is on the list. Also, we have some kind of login with Git, with Nostr, and all this kind of thing that we started build already in the last months. So there are a lot of cool stuff that we are building, but I think one thing that I wanted to see also is the users, the plugin builders, reaching us and discussing about feature requests and talking about the pains on building plugins, so we can every day improve and make life of everyone better.
Yeah, I mean, for me, really, it's all about how do more people build on top of BTCPay Server. Let's rotate into the next question, which is, if you could wish any plugin into existence to appear tomorrow in Plugin Builder, which one would it be? And I can actually start on this one. I would love if someone made a plugin that made interactions with AI way easier. And I'm actually looking into this ability to install plugin on your BTCPay server instance, and then once it's deployed, you can hook into Codex or Claude, create identities, and have those identities build themselves up, because BTCPay server is running on servers, and you could have this swarm of AI agents always being available through BTCPay Server Plugin. So what do you think, Kukks, about, or Pavlenex, I see you raised your hand. Maybe
Kukks can go ahead since he will disappear soon. So I'll follow up later.
Yeah, I think the AI model will be interesting. I've been looking into doing like MCP style server, but I think you meant something quite different, right?
Yeah, I mean something very user centric where you can define an agent identity right in the UI.
Yeah, that's quite different. BTCPay server and MCP server, meaning you can hook it up to your local LLM, and it will, you can basically say, tell it, hey, check my balance or check what my latest invoices are saying. And your local LLM will basically automatically authenticate with BTCPay, check your stores, check your balances, and just come up with a, very fine tailored response to you based on your actual real time activity.
Maybe we could automate support of BTCPay server this way.
Yeah. And I think just to go back as well, like another plugin that I'm very excited to get out there is finally having fiat support in BTCPay from by adding Stripe integration. I think this will be very interesting from a Trojan horse kind of perspective, where every single instance of BTCPay, like you can say, hey, just integrate this checkout experience, which is already very nice and easy thanks to the million different integrations we have available. And all of a sudden you can support, credit card, Google Pay, Apple Pay, all these things directly in the same checkout experience, same integration. The cool thing here is that this is something that I've really wanted for a long time. And since we already have, Bitcoin on Bitcoin support for basically everything that's possible, we can essentially make it so that you receive fiat and automate the Bitcoin transfer on the other side. So, for example, with the voucher system plugin that was released recently, you can make it so that you can issue vouchers against the payment of fiat, and just give them a Bitcoin voucher. And there's so many things you can mix and match together. I think it'll be a very interesting future coming with this.
So yeah, you're not wishing you're deploying plugin into existence with Fiat BTCPay server. Fiat server. How is it? Fiat Pay server.
Fiat Pay server, yeah. Yeah, I'm not good for wishing. I prefer just writing the code.
Let's go. What about you, Pavlenex?
Yeah, as we were discussing like AI and how it can be utilized, I was just thinking more from a merchant perspective. I think one problem that they face is like troubleshooting an invoice. For example, invoice goes into a certain status, it can be underpaid, overpaid, and then they have to either try to figure out themselves what happened, or they need to explain to the end user, like, yeah, we will refund you, what happened. Troubleshooting that failed payment or problematic invoices is a pain. So I don't know if AI it probably can be utilized to help merchant troubleshoot these problems and solve them. I think I would like to see a solution like that. And then probably in terms of like all sorts of various reporting that a merchant can have, maybe that can also be interesting use case where I have a highly customized idea of a report where AI can maybe help put it out there. I think that one is more simpler than what I mentioned first. And yeah, the third one can probably be just like helping merchant navigate, not having a hot wallet. I think having a hot wallet all the time with a lot of money it's problematic. So if somehow this AI can assist merchant into reminding them or helping them send out funds to the cold wallet, or slowly onboarding them from, for example, a hot wallet to setting up a hardware wallet, because I think at the end of the day, what matters for merchants is like security as well. All these plugins and everything is going to expose merchants to certain security risks. So if we can somehow leverage plugins to educate the end user and then help them, I think that can also be an interesting use case. Those are like 3 ideas that I had, but I will never code them, of course. So stays as an idea for others.
Come on, you can do what every product manager dreams of, is like becoming a actually good developer.
No, Emperor strictly said that I can use AI only for interface. If he sees that I touch something else, he will slay me with his sword, basically.
I mean, he's just upset that he didn't pass that Japanese language test, so he's been grumpy the last few weeks. No, so Kukks needed to run before I can ask him the second question, but okay. Tiago, Tobses, any plugin you want to see?
I don't have any off the top of my head. I think just like Kukks, I go through some Telegram chats, and if I see like a pinpoint somewhere, I just go ahead to create a plugin for it. All right. But I think the audience will be better to answer this question.
Yeah.
Especially existing merchants and all. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, on the top of my mind, one that I think could be interesting to have on BTCPay would be maybe Fedimint, because this could bring more users to BTCPay, and I think they have a good base. So maybe this one would be interesting.
Okay. Well, we're slowly getting to the point where we'll involve audience and then hear plugin suggestions. But before we get to that, the last structured question is, how would you advise people to best start building plugins for BTCPay Server? On my side, I created that video that Parker edited so well. And It's basically a video that showcases how to use AI to help you build BTCPay Server Plugin. I'm gonna pin that post here in Spaces in a moment. But I don't know, Parker, did you manage to follow the instructions from the video, or other obligations took over
No,
before you?
I followed it in the edit. I think it's the right tutorial for someone who's already working on the systems and wants a better way to interact with AI on this. I don't think we're quite at the just vibe code BTCPay server plugins yet, but I love the AI MCP or something that's within BTCPay server to help them, or that's like an extension of that.
Let's see also what audience says once we pin it. Tiago, how would you recommend people to start building plugins in BTCPay Server?
Yeah, I would recommend start looking on the other plugins that others has built. So there are a lot of plugins. They are all open source, so you can go get into the code and understand what they are doing, how they are using the resources from BTCPay. And with all this AI stuff, you can send to them and understand better. So that in doing this, you will be able to understand what you want to create, and you can start from getting what is best from each plugin and build some kind of Frankenstein or anything like that. So I think that's the way, studying what the others have been built.
Yeah, because every plugin now, if you go to plugin-builder.com, btcpayserver.org, when you click on specific plugin, you can go to view source. For example, the top plugin listed by relevance right now is B2P Central Plugin by Nisaba, and second one is Shopster by Nisaba as well. So if you click on either of these plugins, you have view source, and you can go to GitHub and see the complete source of plugin. Out of the group here, Tobses has built multiple plugins. Maybe you also have some word of advice how to build BTCPay server plugins, how to start.
Yeah, I think you Thiago and you have said a bunch. I mean, depending on whatever use case, I think there is most likely very similar plugins that you can use. But at the very least, I think there is even a documentation on Plugin Builder that you can also leverage. There is like a BTCPay template plugin that you can also use. So just use all the resources available. Hopefully soon and very soon, just like Nicholas wrote, um, building plugins will be easy as writing hello world. But until then, I think we can just leverage existing plugins and also the documentation that we have currently.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we do have some plugin authors here in the audience, so you can start requesting to be a speaker. I see I am Welma requested to speak, so approving that. I'm unsure if I am Welma is author of Shopster.
Hello, hey. So, hey everyone. So, in regards to the plugin builder. So, first of all, I wanted to mention that. So, we recently worked on the Shopstra BTC Pay plugin along with Nisaba.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, it started earlier towards the last quarter of 2025 as an idea. So basically, I'm not a builder, but through interaction with builders in the space, I was able to be referred to Nisaba by Kukks, and we were able to align on how to implement this plugin. So basically, the plugin introduce a new possibility into the BTCPay server. So basically, it unlocks discoverability. So basically, on the sovereign builds like BTCPay server, merchants have a dilemma where for them to be sovereign, basically they have to lose out on the market forces on the traditional marketplaces. So basically they trade for sovereignty at the cost of invisibility. So basically the plugin unlocks discoverability by enabling merchants to have a global reach. So basically under the hood, it enables merchants to publish their store listings onto Nostra. So basically,
Yeah.
I wanted to
So
push that
you're talking
plugin.
about Shopster plugin?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see Nisaba is also joining us as a speaker. So
Mm-hmm.
You didn't code with Nisaba, you were more testing it, or like Nisaba, what was
So
the setup?
basically, the one who pitched the idea. Yeah, and luckily we were able to align with Nisaba on it. Nisaba is the one who built it from ground
Hello,
up.
do you listen to me?
I don't
Yeah.
listen to you, but I hear you.
Yeah, you hear me. Okay, so
I'm joking.
hello everyone.
Hello.
Happy to be here. So as you know, I've made today many plugins in the BTCPay marketplace. So this day I spent many times to create new plugins and to maintain them. And so I'm happy to participate to the move for the BTCPay ecosystem. And I have maybe a short request. If we can have a system of counter, so we can know how many times a plugin has been downloaded. I don't know if it's possible in the plugin builder public page to have an idea for each plugin how many times it has been uploaded. So maybe it could be useful for us to know if a plugin is a success or not.
Yeah, see, I thought you're gonna help us with answering the question on how do you advise people to best start building plugins in BTCPay Server. Yet here you are, feature requests right away. I'm joking, man. We actually started building a number of downloads of plugin, but Emperor Nicholas had some complaints. We'll look into that. But can you, as a prolific plugin author, give us recommendation on how to best start building plugins for those in the audience that haven't built their plugins? Yeah, and you're muted, Nisaba.
Yeah. Okay. So your question is how to best
get started with building plugins. Yes.
Okay. It's maybe it's not an easy task. So the best thing as you said is to start learning the tutorial, to study the plugin samples in the different repository, and try work, fail, retry, and etc. So you have to have a good knowledge of the BTCPay development area, and I think it's a question of time for learning how to interact with the BTCPay. So if you are okay to spend sometimes to learn step by step, if you have some knowledge on C#, So step by step, you can make something. And I think you have released a good video for beginners. It's very useful. So here is what I can say.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can pin that video here in Spaces, so that we can link it for everyone in the audience. But do you have like any questions for us, either you or Welma, now that you're speakers, as I also am encouraging others in the audience to raise hand if they want.
Okay. So I don't have questions, maybe just a comment, a point of encouragement. So even if basically you're not a builder, you can join the Telegram community and find aligned builders. So basically, if you have a cool idea, you can interact with the space, maybe get a team of builders and just build a first prototype plugin. So you don't have to be that technical savvy to get started. And lastly, I wanted to mention that, so since we have a new plugin, we need some help in getting as many merchants as possible to test it out. So I'll really appreciate it to some help in pushing the word in the space. So, but I'll drop the plugin link in the chat. So that's all from me.
Okay. Well, thank you for that advice and dropping the link. I see we have 2 people requesting to speak. 3, oh my God, it's Bitcoin Aruba. Bitcoin Aruba, welcome to speakers. Feel free to unmute yourself when you join. And then I saw Alex.
Hi. Longtime user of BTCPay Server, first time calling. One of the things I love is that you can bring your own XPub. What are your thoughts on bringing your own Lightning address? So I know we have the Prism plugin, but the way that it works is that you have a payout time and you're holding the funds. So me as a BTCPay Server operator, I don't want to hold anyone else's funds. So I would like to, which I love, is that the user can bring their own XPub. And then what are your thoughts on how they could bring their own Lightning address? And then BTCPay Server is more as the accounting software and also enables the routing of a user's Lightning address so that I don't actually have to hold any Lightning funds. Thanks.
Okay, who wants to answer the question from the team here? Come on, Ndeet, this is almost completely in your wheelhouse.
Really? I'm not sure.
Yes, come on.
I find the idea great.
So when are we?
Not sure what you.
So when are you implementing this?
Yeah, I mean, now after your video, I don't have any excuse anymore. So I have no excuse to not know C#, but I guess I will need to start at some point.
Yes, the first thing is to learn C# to build plugin. Nowadays, a lot of developers work on Java, JavaScript. Maybe it seems there are not a lot of people working with C#. It's a shame, but for me, C# is the best language. But anyway, yes, the first thing to know is C# to work to create a BTCPay plugin, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is still the case, because as long as you can program, I think these days with AI, it's really easy to get something. So, I mean, maybe not the most complex plugin, but the easy plugins which you think that are maybe handy, I think you don't need to be a C# developer anymore, but you can just let the AI do the stuff and then just check if everything kind of makes sense.
It's true. With IE, it can be very helpful. And also for me, I can use IE for language. I am not so relevant, so it's a good help.
I can also tell you from the perspective of Lightning address, the biggest issue is, Alex, how would you, as a Lightning address, get a notification whether Lightning invoice has been paid?
So the notification aspect would be handled on my end or on the BTC server, or I'd have to have a separate SaaS application.
Well, that's the biggest thing with Lightning address. Lightning address is a standard. Is there, like, you can use it to generate Bolt invoices, but there is nothing about whether Bolt invoice has been paid, right?
Right, but then I think anyone can watch that, right? Or what are the specifics on that?
No.
So
that's actually the big issue with a Lightning address being a source in BTCPay Server. Okay,
thanks. One small thing I've learned about the MCP server. So I know the author of a BTCPay Server MCP was in this call earlier. But has anyone used that specific one? It was Code in Veins. I know also the BTCPay Server docs are in Context 7, which is what you can attach to agents to keep up to date information on your docs for the context of the agent.
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, so I haven't used it. I don't know anyone else from the team. Alex, I mean, you need to post some links after this spaces.
Yes.
To research that more. Okay. Let's see if we can get Bitcoin Aruba as a speaker. Third try.
Hi guys. Sorry for the connection.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you for BTCPay Server as always. I want to talk about the plugins just from our experience. You know, the plugin started when we started with the project. There was no so much plugins, and then you started with the plugins. We started adding all the plugins, so that became an issue because they became so many plugins. You understand? So we had to go through a process now that you list the plugins that are requested by the users. You need to test them and see if they don't crash all the other plugins that you're already using. So I just want to show how beautiful the ecosystem of plugins grew in our view of this 5 years with the Bitcoin Aruba project. So it's very nice. I think it shouldn't stop. I did also a story. I think during the weekend, the first test of a plugin inside the plugin testing. And I couldn't do another one because I'm still playing with that plugin. You understand? So they are so even more, make you more creative on it. And onto your question on how to get started, I think just start playing with the existing ones before you even build. There's so many now. It's a really great road that the BTCPay server took with the plugins. Very nice.
Thank you for that, and thank you for providing that instance that people can register on.
Yeah, it was just by accident. I did it. I did it just for the island. And when it wasn't not so much interest, I said, let me open it for the world. And it picked up. And now, 5 years in, it has its own ecosystem, I would say.
We need to make sure, you can keep running that instance.
Yeah. For now, we're good. What I was thinking, honestly, is just from my side, from our side, maybe it's just that, I will make a page on a Bitcoin Aruba approved plugins, because we do go through a process and we did have issues with conflicting plugins and all this stuff. So we do keep a list and that is on the major one, so the BTCPay.btc.aw one, and then the other ones that we run also. So yeah, maybe that, I know it's just a stamp from our side, but yeah, it can also help with certain security or anything for newcomers.
No, I would love that. I mean, Pavlenex, we would repost that, right?
Yes.
There we go. Stamp of approval from PM.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, any questions from us before we start accepting more people as speakers, like our last 5 minutes? From you, Aruba, or no?
Oh, from my, I think on the plugin, like you were talking about, to make it open, or how do you? Yeah, my opinion. This is personal, of course. I mean, let the kids play. You know, they have to build. So there's no restriction. There is security issues. We've experienced a lot of that, of course, and yeah, it's buyer beware. But there has to be, even, I think, on the BTCPay server side, with the testers, might be just on the structural side to have a basic process also. Hey, we're checking these things in order to apply them. For the users also to know, hey, this is the things that they were tested. They weren't gone beyond that, hey, I didn't know they can hack through the system because they had a different Stripe account or things like this.
Okay. Last 5
Thank you.
minutes. Let's see. We have one more request to speak. Granted. And let's hear it. The last question before we start winding the spaces down. And I really want to thank all of you for joining us for this hour. It's been pretty fun for me, I must say.
Hey guys.
So, hello.
Was someone ahead of me? I don't want to jump ahead.
No. Jump in. You really have a great mic. Good.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess there's not really a good answer to this question, but yeah, like I could see where we'll need to have, like, in the plugin store for BTCPay Server, it's like some way to show, well, like these plugins were vibe coded or AI coded, like a way to filter those out, perhaps. But then how could you really prove that code was written by AI? You know, that's because eventually the code will be, it might become hard to distinguish from a human coder. So I guess that's still like, might be an outstanding problem in computer science. That's all.
Yeah, I have a proposal for you. We can invert it. We can, every plugin by default, you're going to assume that it has been AI vibe coded, but then we can have a special icon for those who claim that their plugin is 100% organic, certified artisan, hand coded. So would you like that instead? Like, do you think that's a better approach?
I guess, but then you're trusting that developer, right?
Well, maybe yeah. You could be the certifying body of organic artisan plugins. Like, we come up with some kind of committee. That would be fun. No, I would do it as a joke more, because I find it that every like all the code will be AI coded, man, in the near future. So yeah, that would be my answer. I don't know if anyone else from the team has alternative opinions.
I have a small idea. It almost feels like early days of Lightning. We just need like a tag that says this is a reckless plugin. For some that this is less tested than others.
Yeah, you will see it like when a plugin has reviews, and if we can add like downloads, you will see if the plugin is used or not. But I think it will be impossible to distinguish hand-coded and AI plugins, because even developers don't code anymore these days. So Yeah, I think we need to have a web of trust and like credibility from developers that do multiple plugins and so on. So I think that's the only way to ensure some quality.
Yeah, 100%. So certified artisan handmade plugin, 100% organic icon is coming up. So Topses, get ready to code this, man. I didn't expect we're gonna end on this note, or maybe not. Wait, we have one more request to speak. We don't have hard stops, so let's keep adding people to speaker podium until everyone is a speaker. Lend us.
Hey, I have a last question, if that's okay. First of all, I 100% agree on the AI issue. Maybe one way to solve that, or like a problem that I've also seen, is that there are not a lot of reviews. So maybe if you can like indicate more easily like how people give reviews to plugins, yeah, people can share their opinions more, basically. I've seen that like even most popular plugins don't have a lot of reviews right now, and I think it would help the ecosystem to also understand which one I can trust, which one is like the standard for certain actions. So that's definitely a way to handle it. One question on that side. So you said that you already have a lot of swap plugins, and we are currently launching a self-custodial swap service. And we also want to make a plugin, which would be great. But we really also don't want to make just another plugin, but we also want to solve a problem that you guys currently have. Therefore, I wanted to ask, like, what are the problems that you are currently seeing, or like if there are any things that are currently not supported through the current swap plugins, and how can we tap into that ecosystem and also provide some sort of value?
Should I answer? Or...
Yeah, go ahead.
So from my side, I think there's huge potential in like if you don't charge that much, because like most plugins are really expensive, the swapping services. And yeah, also with some plugins, you need to install some node or something, so it's not that easy to set up. So if it's working easy and you have lots of options and it's cheap, I think that's still a plugin that would be very useful for many.
Oh, that's perfect. We're super cheap. Yeah, that's perfect. But maybe one question on that note, like how would you guys actually integrate that? Because there is obviously the option to create like a separate page. But we were also thinking about like if you want to send or receive something, obviously if you just have like this interoperability, like it doesn't matter what you want to send or what you want to receive, like you could receive or send any stable coin or whatever, and you just hold Bitcoin all the time on your side and it swaps in or out depending on the transaction. Like how would you implement that? Should that be a separate page in your ecosystem, or do we build that in natively, or yeah, what's the way forward?
So I know from Fixed Float they have like a settings page and you can choose which stablecoins or other altcoins you want to accept. And they will always swap to Bitcoin for you, and it will be received directly in your Bitcoin wallet. So if you have an XPub there, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a separate page, right?
Yeah, it's like the separate settings page for the plugin itself. And on the checkout, yeah, you have it like with an iframe. I think most are doing an iframe. But this was like before we had the modular payment methods. And I think you can make it now a bit nicer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, okay, and also Exodix plugins works in the same way. And in the back office of Exodix plugin, you can also swap from Bitcoin to altcoin if you want.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out, and we'll see how to build it in the best way. Thank you.
Yes, swap plugins to me are one of the most popular category of plugins we have. So I think it's proven model, and the more I see of them, the better for everyone. And we can't finish this. It's because people keep asking to be added to speak. So One last approval. Let's hear it from, what is this? Electronic Blockchain Enterprise. Oh my God, let's hear it from Electronic Blockchain Enterprise. Unmute yourself or not, or we'll leave without hearing from them because can't accept speaker invite. In any case, thank you all for being here as part of this spaces on Plugin Builder. It's been quite fun for me. Any closing words from anyone on the speaker podium? And
Thank you guys for the BTCPay server, man. It has really changed the way that you view even the simple thing like this discussion about plugins. How you add more to it. It's really amazing. So yeah, congratulations and thanks.
Well, the last thing for me, I really love that call to have more reviews on plugins. So everyone here, there will be a post from BTCPay Server on linking Plugin Builder and asking you to review a plugin. If you can do that, we will be very thankful. If you can't do that, at least repost and comment. And let's get more reviews on plugins, and let's get more plugins on Builder, so we have complete bloom of BTCPay Server plugins. Thank you, enjoy your day, and see you at next BTCPay X Spaces.